Something major just happened, and if you're on Social Security, know someone who is, or just care where your tax dollars go, you'll want to hear this. President Trump just signed a new executive memorandum, and it's sparking serious national conversation. This order changes how the government handles Social Security benefits, and the ripple effects could impact millions. This isn't just about politics, it's about fraud, immigration, identity security, and trust in the entire Social Security system. One detail that has everyone talking? The return of a $10,000 fine for anyone caught filing a fake Social Security claim. That's not a slap on the wrist, it's a serious crackdown. So let's break this down. On April 15, 2025, President Trump signed a new executive order focused on stopping Social Security fraud and tightening access for people not legally in the U.S. At its core, the order aims to stop improper claims and make sure your tax dollars go to those truly eligible. But of course, it's more complicated than it sounds. The memorandum tells the Social Security Administration, SSA, to team up more closely with the Department of Justice and the Office of the Inspector General. That means 50 U.S. attorney offices will now be involved in fighting Social Security fraud. Add to that 15 new units investigating Medicare and Medicaid fraud, and you're looking at a significant increase in legal resources dedicated to enforcement. One program making a comeback is called the Are You Alive? Initiative. It might sound like science fiction, but it's very real. The goal? To find people over 100 years old whose wage data doesn't match up, because in some cases, identity thieves are collecting benefits meant for deceased individuals. The administration says this is a way to stop theft and protect the system's integrity. The $10,000 civil fine for fraud is also back. For years, this penalty wasn't really enforced. Now, it's front and center. Supporters say it'll scare off scammers. Critics argue it could hurt people who simply made mistakes on paperwork or misunderstood eligibility rules. And that brings us to the heart of the debate. Supporters of the order claim undocumented immigrants and their families cost taxpayers around $182 billion annually. They also argue nearly 1 million undocumented workers use fake Social Security numbers, sometimes to collect benefits. This data comes from FAIR, the Federation for American Immigration Reform, a group with a strong stance on immigration. But not everyone agrees. Critics say the real number of undocumented immigrants collecting benefits is tiny. In fact, many pay into Social Security via payroll taxes and never get anything back. The SSA itself reports that fraud or mistaken payments account for less than 1% of total Social Security benefits. So, is this about cracking down on real fraud? Or is it about making a political statement? Timing plays a role here. Under President Biden, over 2 million undocumented immigrants were issued Social Security numbers in 1 year. This included asylum seekers and DACA recipients. Trump's team sees this as proof of weak oversight, especially when compared to Biden's efforts to expand Medicaid and healthcare access, moves that faced legal setbacks but still stirred major political debates. For many legal citizens and longtime taxpayers, this memorandum may feel like a step toward fairness, making sure the system isn't being abused. But for others, particularly immigrants or those navigating government red tape, it's a red flag. And legal experts warn that focusing too much on immigration fraud could pull attention away from other problems, like outdated SSA systems, understaffing, and long delays for people trying to get the help they're owed. Another concern: privacy and automation. If the government uses automated tools to flag suspicious accounts, what happens when a glitch freezes your benefits? Imagine living on a fixed income, only to have your payments suddenly stopped. That's not just frustrating, it could be devastating. And let's be real. Is a $10,000 fine always fair? What about someone who made an honest mistake on a form or didn't understand the rules? There's a difference between fraud and confusion, and lumping them together might create more harm than good. Let's take a step back. When Social Security launched in 1935, it was meant to be a lifeline for older Americans, the disabled, and those in need. Over the decades, we added Medicare and Medicaid. But the mission remained the same: help people when they need it most. Now, nearly 100 years later, the system is under pressure. People live longer, and fewer workers are paying in. And while healthcare fraud and system abuse are real issues, most Americans just want the benefits they've earned. Honest people depend on these programs to survive. This memorandum is more than just a political headline, it's a sign of deeper questions. Do we want stronger enforcement or better support? Do we fight fraud or fix the systems causing delays? Whatever your view, one thing's clear: these changes will affect millions and shape public trust in the government moving forward. What do you think? Will this executive action help clean up Social Security, or could it create more harm than good? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This channel is all about helping you stay informed and protecting what matters most: your benefits and your future.